Coming up on Mornings on the Hill, some would say it's trash. Syracuse has a garbage problem. More on the delays in Syracuse neighborhoods.
And newborns at Cross Hospital are receiving special knitted caps from someone really special. We'll introduce you to a Syracuse hero.
And we'll hear from Buddy Boeheim and his dad after his last Syracuse game ever.
Plus, a winter storm warning coming up on this edition of Mornings on the Hill.
Good morning, I'm Elena Locido. Thanks for joining us for Mornings on the Hill.
And I'm Imani Clement. We've got lots to cover this morning as we all head out for spring break.
Classes are ending for the week and we are heading into spring break with big smiles on our faces. Many of us are already gone. Students packed up their bags and left campus catching flights or hitting the highway for some downtime until Monday, March 21st.
And Syracuse Hancock Airport will be a busy place over the next couple of days, and lots of people will be filling up the tank for a long drive out of town. We've got winter weather, so check your flights and cancellations, and record high gas prices to deal with as we go. Gas is around $4.30 in central New York, and filling up your tank can be $75.
You may have seen the blue and yellow lights around campus and around town. Syracuse University is showing its support for Ukraine by lighting up the dome every night. Syracuse is home to students, faculty, staff, and alumni from Ukraine and Russia. The chancellor says these events are distressing for all of us, but especially to community members who are experiencing these conflict in deeply personal ways.
And 2 years ago today, the CDC formally declared COVID-19 a pandemic. And today, COVID rates are dramatically down here in New York and at SU. Starting Monday, the COVID status on campus will move from blue to yellow, which means masks are optional. And this is all based on the latest COVID-19 numbers.
As of today, we still have to wear masks and social distance as often as possible. Daily tests have ranged from 500 to 800, but positive results have dropped. As of today, there are 109 current active cases. There are 31 new student cases and 7 students currently in quarantine.
And now to a messy problem, garbage. Half of Syracuse's sanitation trucks are out of order.
Mornings on the Hill reporter Tessa Howard tells us how some Syracuse residents are fed up. Tessa?
Earlier this week, City of Syracuse sanitation crews are running a couple days late on neighborhood pickups. Some residents are fed up, but Isaac Williams, he's turning this situation into something positive.
Odor fills the air, trash blowing in the wind, while garbage bags pile up. For Syracuse residents like Isaac Williams, it's been a pain to pick up his own trash and others.
I run out of places to put my trash because if it's not picked up, now I have, still creating trash for my house. I run out of space in my trash can, so, where do I put it? And then, animals get into it and it attracts other, animals.
City officials say it doesn't have enough mechanics to service its broken down trucks, so trash pickups are often days behind. For Williams, it's not stopping him or his Northeast Syracuse neighbors.
We would like to do a cleanup in the Lincoln Hill and Eastwood area. Depending on how much support we get, we could really make an impact when spring cleanup comes.
Chief Operating Officer of Syracuse, Corey Driscoll-Dunham, says that they are working out solutions to solve the problem. One is looking at rerouting.
In terms of the routes, that would certainly help. As we did which we presented to the council last week, a study on our sanitation operation, we found that the routes are completely uneven. That some of the trucks are picking up way more tonnage than other trucks, and that's just not an efficient use of our resources.
In the meantime, Williams and his neighbors are now meeting every Friday to discuss a spring cleanup.
Coming from the community to help, it's a service, but it's one we're happy to provide, and it's for completely free.
Mornings on the Hill reached out for a comment from Mayor Ben Walsh on the issue. He declined to comment at this time. Reporting live in the newsroom, I'm Tessa Howard.
Babies at a local maternity ward are keeping their heads warm thanks to a local resident. Our Tallulah FAMU Day has more on why this former teacher is living proof that giving is better than receiving.
Thanks, Imani. Now, I'm currently standing outside of Krause Hospital, where virtually every day a newborn baby leaves with a knitted cap from this retired school teacher. And as you'll soon find out, she's the one getting the most out of her generosity. For Andrew Varshney,
where did I put them? Am I sitting on them?
knitting is more than just a hobby.
Knitting is my passion. It keeps me calm.
It was that passion and some help from a friend that led her to Krause Hospital.
So I reached out to her. I said, Geeta, I'm going to knit hats. Where can I take them? She goes, okay, I will get you connected to the maternity ward and you can take them there. So that's how this whole thing started.
Varshney's been doing this since the birth of her grandchild in 2016. That comes out to knitting 30 caps a month, 365 caps a year. Or, in her own words,
it's a lot.
Unfortunately, that's not the only routine she has to follow. Both Varshney and her husband go to Krause every 3 weeks for an infusion to keep her brain tumor from growing.
It came on suddenly. I had no symptoms.
But Varshney's husband says she's stronger than you may think.
She had another bout with something similar, breast cancer. So she came out of it, and that was 2006. So this is her second. So you can see how tough it has been for her, but she's still saying life happens, keep smiling.
Mrs. Varshney has been through what most people can't even imagine, but her passion for knitting is what keeps her motivated.
So, blessing in disguise. I mean, that's why I'm here. It's been 2 years. They didn't give me much time then, but I'm here.
Varshney says she's happy with the work she does, and her smile is contagious. One stitch at a time from a woman who dons many caps. Talua Famude, Mornings on the Hill. Now, despite a recent shoulder injury, Mrs. Varshney plans to continue knitting so that these babies can continue to receive her caps. For Mornings on the Hill, I'm Talua Famude.
And now for Culture Cauldron, a fresh and new music production company Newhouse students are running. Our Katie Hopsticker has more on the story.
Culture Cauldron, a group of student entrepreneurs at Syracuse University, is here today at the Matilda Jocelyn Gage Center in Fayetteville, New York. The group of students run a video and audio production company, and they've done it all from scratch themselves. They have singers at unique locations around Syracuse, New York, and they provide videos and audio recordings on their Instagram and social media pages. Culture Cauldron founder Nick Petta started the company over the summer with his friends in order to explore all the possibilities that music has to offer.
So the mission of Culture Cauldron is to collaborate with really unique and kind of historic venues that often don't have musical performances taking place in it. So we're combining the diversity of these locations with the diversity of our artists to kind of create a community-driven project that is a live music series.
Can we all see this? Yep. In addition to producing audio and visual content in unique CNY locations, Culture Cauldron partnered with a local basement venue called The Garden. The house show was filled with students supporting their favorite local artists. All the artists can be found on Spotify through Culture Cauldron's cumulative album. It was a night of fun, friendship, and great local music in Syracuse. Be sure to follow Culture Cauldron on all social medias and follow them at www.culturecauldron.com. Live from Mornings on the Hill, I'm Katie Hopsticker. Back to you.
It was the end of an era this week as both of Jim Boeheim's sons have completed their Syracuse basketball careers. Jack Wallace has more on the emotional weight of the players' departure. Jack?
Now that's right, Imani. Syracuse was without the ACC's leading scorer in Buddy, and that was likely their downfall as they fell to Duke in the ACC quarterfinals. And after the game, it got so emotional for both Jimmy and his little brother that we just had to show it to you.
It's meant everything to me, being alongside this guy on the court and playing for him and just playing for the team that really was my childhood growing up, just mopping the court at the timeouts, just looking up to all those players that came before me.
It's truly been, amazing, and I can't put it into words how much it's meant to me to play here. I've worked my whole life to play here, the last 8 years of my life, and I wouldn't trade it for anything.
Well, I'll tell you this. It's the best season I've ever had. I think that says enough.
And don't go anywhere. I'll have more for you all on the Boeheim Boys' last game coming up in sports.
Coming up on Mornings on the Hill, as we told you at the top of our show, we've got a winter storm warning tonight. We'll take a look at our full weather forecast after the break.
And one of the big stories this morning is the winter storm heading our way.
Our weather anchor, Pazong Lee, is here to tell us what to expect. Pazong?
Good morning, everyone. I'm here with a weather storm warning, and what a surprise. We're in for more snow. If you're traveling over the weekend for spring break, make sure to check your flights if they will get canceled, plan accordingly, and for those of you that aren't traveling, stay warm. But let's take a look at what it's like outside right now. Now, as you can see, there's barely any snow on the ground. The grass is showing and the clouds are gray. And right now it's about 33 degrees. The wind is pretty calm right now, just going about 6 to 11 miles per hour. It's going to remain mostly cloudy throughout the day with a slight chance of showers. But tonight we're getting 100% chance of rain and snow with a little preview for the weekend. In the next few days, we're getting a snowstorm. You all know how it is in central New York. We get snow well into the springtime. The snow will be light tomorrow, but it will definitely be chilly throughout the day and will end the night at 21 degrees. And moving on to the next few days, we get a little warmer. Now, we'll still snow on Sunday with a 30% chance, but starting Monday, we move into the high 40s and low 50s. It'll be partly cloudy from Monday to Wednesday, but hopefully your spring break won't be too cold. Back to you, Elena and Imani.
Are we done yet? Because I'm ready for spring break.
You and me both, and you are about to find out why. Our IE Jagni has more on what the Mornings on the Hill team has planned for spring break. IE?
Thanks, Imani. Spring break starts tomorrow. I caught up with our very own Mornings on the Hill crew to see what they have planned for this upcoming week.
So for my spring break, I'm not going anywhere at all. I'm gonna stay home. I'm gonna relax here, just try to rejuvenate myself.
My plans for spring break, first half of the break, I'm going to be here, just chilling, maybe applying for more internships and jobs. For the most part.
This spring break, I'm going back home to California, and I'm hoping there's some better weather, some sunnier weather, so I can spend some time with my family.
Well, I'm going to LA. I have a PR class for 3 days, so I'm really excited for that.
And how do you feel?
I'm actually going to Israel with our international reporting class here in Newhouse, and I'm very excited. I've never been out of the country.
All right, so my plans for spring break is I'm gonna be leaving earlier today, going to San Francisco, and I'll be going visiting some of my good friends out there. So I'll be going to Warriors game, Sharks game, all that. And I'm gonna come back midweek, and I'm gonna go to Buffalo to the March Madness games, and then to Brooklyn on Friday, and then Long Island, and then I come home.
I will be staying in town, but I will be trying to get a massage somewhere nice for sure.
Spring break, I'm heading home to go see my mom for a couple of days. And then I'm heading to Miami with a friend, with IE, who's also on Mornings on the Hill, to go have some fun on the beach in Miami. So I'm excited.
Personally, I'm glad to be leaving right before the storm hits. I'll be headed to sunny Miami with Imani. For Mornings on the Hill, I'm Aijai.
Coming up next, I'm back with all the weekend sports updates, including more on the SU Duke game and some Syracuse softball action tonight. Good morning. I'm Jack Wallace with your Orange Sports Update here on Mornings on the Hill. It turns out Jim Boeheim had one last crack at beating Mike Krzyzewski, but he would have to take on this daunting task without one of his sons, Buddy. The Orange took on the Duke Blue Devils in the ACC quarterfinals, waiting for an answered prayer. Jimmy Boeheim was in his bag tonight. He covered for his sideline brother with 28 points. That's a season high. And then Joe Girard bodied the first half. Here's a buzzer beater bang right there to take a 4-point lead at halftime. But the Duke was slowly whittled away. Blue Devils put on a 10-0 run in the final 4 minutes, and Syracuse will likely end their season with an 88-79 loss. Now, Syracuse softball seeks to stop their skid tonight as they hunt the Hokies of Virginia Tech. And if this series is anything like last season's brutal sweep, now, we could be in for a long weekend.
Base is empty,
the Orange
2
haven't
outs.
traveled to Blacksburg since 2018, where they cooked the Hokies in the series victory. The 2020 series was, of course, canceled. And last season, the Orange lost by a combined 1-22. Ouch. They'll get their first shot at the series tonight at 4 o'clock. Now, you may have thought that high school hoops ended last week with the sectional finals, but no, we have more, and the regional finals tip off this Saturday. Boys are up first with Section 3 champs Liverpool taking on Section 2 champs Green Tech. Now they're going to be looking for a revenge game from earlier defeat this season. And the girls, the Cicero North Syracuse looks to defend their Section 3 crown against the Albany Falcons of Section 2. We'll close out our sports segment with the photo of the week. And today's image is from Syracuse women's lacrosse and their victory over Duke this past weekend. Now, this shot is of Caitlin Mashesky leaping up to snag the faceoff as the Blue Devils do their best to get the ball back and keep their lead. Now that'll do it for your morning sports update here on Mornings on the Hill. Back to you, Elena.
Still to come here on Mornings on the Hill, passion and determination take center stage in the studio for a young team. And a superhero returns to the screen. Stay with us.
The COVID-19 pandemic has challenged many athletes, but dance has taught one teenager how to power through and be resilient. Our Kritia Williams explains how a young ballet dancer stays on beat even during difficult times.
Nathaniel Taylor has been dancing since he was 6 years old. For him, this is how he communicates.
Ballet is the way people express themselves. It's what I want to do for a living.
His teacher is Charles Hazelaw. Hazelaw says during COVID, Nathaniel couldn't go to school, but he could dance, and he spent a lot of time doing it.
I would say it was to an advantage, and it gave the kids a level up, should I say. So when things opened back up, they were ready.
How did Taylor get better? By mastering each dance move he put his mind to.
I got better. My technique really advanced.
Last year, like 13-year-olds all over the world, Taylor had to be homeschooled. Now that he's back in the classroom, he balances dance practices 5 times a week, performing, and his schoolwork.
It's challenging, but I try to get my schoolwork done at school. So when I get home, I can stretch and do everything before ballet.
Hazelaw says Taylor can learn a lot from this transition from COVID lockdown to now. Things like managing priorities, time, and maintaining balance. And that is going to take him to places like the Boston Summer Camp.
You have a lot going on. I mean, there's some days I get the phone calls saying, you know, the kids have a lot of homework. And I believe academics first, you know. School, ballet, you know. Get this done, and then you can have this.
Nathaniel says looking forward, he is very excited about the Boston Ballet Summer Intensive, in which he'll be in attendance. Dancers must audition for the Summer Intensive program in Boston. Taylor was among the few who earned a full ride scholarship.
I want to dance with Boston Ballet, their company. That's a dream.
He says this summer is his time to shine.
Wow, that is remarkable, and at such a young age. We're rooting for you, Nathaniel.
That we are, Elena. And now, I am vengeance. Do you know where that's from? Yeah, the Batman. It came out in theaters last week to some big numbers. Gabriel Vega is here to tell us all about it.
Good, Imani. It was a big weekend at the movies. The Batman made $134 million in North America over the weekend, with an estimate of $128.5 million on Sunday. The Batman, starring Robert Pattinson and Zoe Kravitz, came out last Thursday. Robert Pattinson might have been cringy in Twilight, but judging from those numbers, He's an excellent, he's a really great Batman. Take that, Twitter. And now, this week, HBO Max announced this Batman spin-off series featuring this guy. Take a look.
I got you!
That's right. The Penguin will have his own show. That's Colin Farrell under there. Look at him. He's so unrecognizable. He'll be back for the spin-off series on HBO Max coming soon. If you haven't gone to see The Batman yet, go for it. It's a little long, so be prepared for that. Have lots of candy and popcorn by your side. But if you like slow burn mysteries like The Zodiac or Seven or Gone Girl, you'll love Matt Reeves' film. That's it for Movies of the Week, and that's it for Movie News of the Week. I'm Gabriel Vega. Have a great spring break.
That is going to do it for us this Friday here on Mornings on the Hill. I'm Elena Locido. Follow us on social media.
And I'm Imani Clement. Thanks for watching Orange Nation, and have a great spring break.